Rumors are flying that Shedeur Sanders could be on the move to the Cincinnati Bengals. Imagine with Joe Burrow out, Shedeur Sanders can finally get a chance to start.
Joe Burrow has a turf toe injury that will require surgery. He will be sidelined for a minimum of 3 months. Typically, this is a 12 to 14-week recovery period from an injury like that. That would mean that if it was best case, the soonest he could be ready, as much as he might push, would be December 15th, and it very well could be into the new year before he's ready again.
One of the NFL's brightest stars, Joe Burrow, goes down with yet another devastating injury. And just like that, the Cincinnati Bengals' entire future is thrown into chaos. Now, with their championship window closing, the Bengals may have no choice but to light the fuse on the boldest gamble in football history, a gamble worth $85 million. A gamble on a quarterback who hasn't played a single NFL snap. A gamble that could shake the very foundation of the AFC North, and maybe the league itself. This is the story of the Bengals, Joe Burrow's career-threatening injury, and why Shedeur Sanders could suddenly be the most dangerous name in football.
Would the Bengals even start Shedeur Sanders if they traded for him? Because Browning looked pretty decent in their last game. Who's to say that Shedeur would actually get an opportunity in Cincinnati? I think this trade is good for everyone except the Browns. I don't think it makes sense for Cleveland at all. And I would much rather they keep Shedeur on our depth chart and Gabriel so that we can finally evaluate the rookies. We don't even know which one's good. We don't know which one could be a quarterback of the future for Cleveland. We need to see them play for our team, not just immediately ship them out. You drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks, and I think it would actually end up being better for the Bengals.
The NFL is ruthless. Careers are built and destroyed in the blink of an eye. One injury, one play, one misstep, and everything changes. For the Cincinnati Bengals, that moment has arrived. Their franchise quarterback, Joe Burrow, the man who brought them back to life and carried them to a Super Bowl appearance, is now facing the most uncertain stretch of his career. What began as a turf toe injury has spiraled into something far more serious. Reports say Burrow could be sidelined for at least 3 months. Surgery may be unavoidable, and whispers are already surfacing. This might not just cost him a season. It could reshape the entire trajectory of his career. For the Bengals, the clock is ticking. Their window to win a championship is right now, not 3 years from now, not after Burrow recovers, but today.
Joe Burrow went down yesterday. You knew it had to be serious. He's going to have surgery as soon as the swelling in that toe goes down, and he's going to be sidelined for a minimum of 3 months. The Bengals already have been calling around to add another quarterback. That's from a depth standpoint, but the fact of the matter is Jake Browning will be the guy. He is expected to be the guy, and Joe Burrow has taken so much punishment there in Cincinnati from the time that he arrived there in 2020. You put up the pass rush win rate right there, where the Bengals have ranked in the league, and you see those numbers. That is rough for a quarterback to absorb all those hits, all those years. And you wonder what type of cumulative effect it will have on Joe Burrow.
This isn't just about a toe. Joe Burrow has been through this before. A torn ACL cut his rookie season short. A calf strain sidelined him in the preseason. Wrist and soft tissue injuries have added to the list. And now, a turf toe that could require surgery and derail months of play. One injury is bad luck, but 4? 5? That's a pattern. The Bengals know this, and as painful as it is to admit, enter Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, Colorado's breakout star. A quarterback with poise, accuracy, and an arm that already looks NFL ready. He's got leadership, he's got swagger, and he's got the rare ability to make everyone on the field believe in him. So imagine this, the Bengals, desperate to keep their Super Bowl hopes alive, step into uncharted waters. They put $85 million on the table for Shedeur Sanders, not in the draft, not as a rookie contract. Right now, it would be unprecedented, controversial, maybe even reckless, but it might also be the exact move the Bengals need.
I think it would actually end up being better for the Bengals, whether they play him or not, because now they'll get all the media attention. They'll get the jersey sales. They'll get the ticket sales. They'll get the Shedeur Sanders fans that are tuning in to the Browns only for Shedeur. That would all go to Cincinnati. Why help out our rival like that when this Burrow injury is going to affect the Bengals' performance? It'll lower them in the division standings throughout the year. Let's not make a trade to help out our foes, especially if Shedeur turns out to be worth the hype. Like, what if he is actually a good quarterback and we just gave him up to Cincinnati, our division rivals? We'd be clowned like the Browns already are in the media. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think we need to make a trade like this, and I wouldn't give up either of the rookies if we...
Burrow's injury history. Every year, Burrow seems to be fighting a new battle with his body. The Bengals can't ignore the reality that their star may not have the longevity they once assumed. Shedeur Sanders' talent, even at the college level, Sanders shows the polish of an NFL-ready quarterback. His arm strength is elite, his pocket presence is advanced, and his leadership makes him a natural fit for a franchise role. A succession plan. This isn't about replacing Burrow today, it's about preparing for tomorrow. If Burrow recovers, Sanders sits and learns. If Burrow doesn't, the Bengals already have their future secured. Maximizing the championship window with Chase, Higgins, and a defense that can win now. Cincinnati can't afford to throw away an entire season. Sanders gives them a weapon who can stretch defenses and keep the Bengals dangerous.
Bengals trade proposal for Shedeur Sanders could look like the Bengals receive Shedeur Sanders, Browns receive 4th round pick and a 6th round pick. A Sanders trade this quickly into his rookie year is unlikely, especially because it seems like just a matter of time before Cleveland Browns bench Joe Flacco. Sanders is considered the third
quarterback. Shedeur Sanders, I'm here to tell you guys right now, Jake Brown is definitely not it. So it makes the most sense. And so somebody else says, I'm more surprised that the Bengals didn't draft Shedeur Sanders. I'm not.
Of course, there's another angle to this story, one that adds even more intrigue. Some believe there's quiet resistance in NFL circles to Shedeur Sanders, not because of his talent, but because of who he is, the son of Deion Sanders. Isn't just a football coach, he's prime time, a cultural icon, a disruptor, and Shedeur carries that same energy, unapologetic, magnetic, and impossible to control. For old-school NFL power brokers, that's uncomfortable. Some whisper about collusion, about teams quietly steering away from Shedeur because they don't want to hand that kind of spotlight to him and his family. But if the Bengals step up with $85 million, they're not just signing a quarterback. They're challenging the very structure of the NFL establishment. If this happens, it changes everything. For Burrow, it sends a message. The team loves him, but they can't risk everything on his health. For Sanders, he skips the traditional draft funnel and enters the league as a superstar before even throwing an NFL pass. For the Bengals, they go from being a wounded team with an injured QB to one of the boldest, most dangerous franchises in football. For the NFL, the doors are blown wide open. If Cincinnati can sign Sanders like this, what's stopping other teams from rewriting the rules too? This isn't just about one deal. It's about the next decade of professional football.
When Joe Burrow returned this season, live from the War Room, we were the first to say turf toe, left turf toe. And as you can see on the video that we have shown, when he plants the left foot to escape, hyperdorsiflexes, injures the toe, turf toe, tears ligaments, the plantar plate, and you can see the big toe quickly give way and spring back. And that unfortunately was the moment of the turf toe. We couldn't tell what grade. We knew it was significant, at least grade 2. Now reports of grade 3. What does that mean? In orthopedics, mild, moderate, severe. Grade 1 mild, grade 2 moderate, grade 3 severe. Severe means the tendon and the ligaments are torn and retracted, likely the sesamoid bones retracted. That means surgery. Surgery is not good news. The good news is we do anticipate a 100% and full recovery for Joe Burrow.
So here it is. The Bengals stand at a crossroads. On one side, loyalty to Joe Burrow, the quarterback who resurrected the franchise, but now faces a fragile future. On the other, a nuclear gamble. $85 million for Shedeur Sanders, a quarterback who could either launch a dynasty or destroy everything. This isn't just a football decision. It's a gamble with the Bengals' identity, their legacy, and their future. The Bengals' window is closing. Their quarterback is injured. Their future hangs in the balance. And the question is no longer if they'll take a risk. It's how far they're willing to go. Because sometimes the only way to survive in the NFL is to go nuclear.